Hope everybody's having a good show. Thank you for showing up to this presentation. We know typically the presentations start to die off towards the end of the show. Tomorrow I've got one at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm anticipating like one person here. So, but you know, the member updates are generally pretty well attended and stuff like that. But so, thank you for coming. So this presentation that I'm going to do today, I get a lot of questions and things like that. You get business seminars, and you know, this is how you should run your business. This is what you should do, and people always telling you, you know, the best practices and things like that. I get questions. International training's had a lot of success over the years on what you did and how you did it. And I'll tell you the real truth, we got lucky. Okay? So with some things, and we made a lot of mistakes, and we recovered from those mistakes. But there are a couple key things we do that had that type of impact that you can apply them to your own businesses. Okay? So with this presentation, I've got 5 things that if you write down 5 bullets, it kind of kept it very easy. So if you're taking notes and things like that, there'll be 5 things. The other thing is this is recorded, so it'll be available to show staff when you get back. Okay? You can just have them sit down and look at this type of thing. So we've done 5 different things the key success. So my experience, I've been working in international training for 20 years. I've hired and worked with and trained approximately 100 plus people along the way. I've got a degree in maritime law, working on my MBA, and most importantly, I'm a father to a 7-year-old wild man who is, this photo is like my Facebook photo. I love this photo. After I took this dive gear off, I was doing an intro tech class and sidebar, and I put the gear off, let it floating in the pool, and I'm just sitting there talking to my student, who was one of my staff. And next thing you know, my 7-foot hose is 7 feet down, and my 7-year-old is sitting on the bottom of the pool. I'm like, okay, all right, get back up here. So it's in his blood, and I'm really enjoying seeing the aquatic world through his eyes, so we have a blast. So that's it. But I learned a lot by making mistakes, okay? That's the key thing. You may get hit, you make a mistake, but as long as you recover and you keep going, it's a philosophy my father instilled in me when I grew up, which was never give up, just keep pushing, just keep driving, because you can recover from your errors, as long as you learn something along the way. So with that, some of you may have already seen this. Has everybody seen the video? Oh, great. Okay, so this is good. Escape. And the video is about international training.
No, I haven't seen it.
It was launched on our website just the other day. And I'll give you a little tidbit on the video. It was put together by our team from concept to finish, including all the interviews, in 30 days. Diving isn't just what we do. It's who we are. It's our passion, our craft, our way of life. I'm Brian Carney. I'm currently the president of SDI, TDI, ERDI. I got my start in the current position of working for TDI back in 1998. Brett Gillum, the former owner and founder of International Training, he asked me to come up and work as his assistant.
I formed the company in April of 1994, and I called the company Technical Diving International just because I thought it summed everything up very neatly.
One day we sat down and created a game plan, and we started what is the original Technical Diving International. It was kind of created on a napkin on my kitchen table.
We were advocating and putting products and devices into play that were not fully understood by a lot of the sort of, let's just say, the older mainstream diving industry. And with nitrox, I mean, actually we had situations where people were outright condemning it, saying it had no place whatsoever.
I remember when we went to our first demo, the first diving trade show we went to as Technical Diving International. Everyone was throwing shots at us. They were trying to get us moved to the back of DEMA, trying to push us in a closet. They were telling us we didn't belong there.
We started off with nobody, but by 1998, we had offices in 26 countries, and we had thousands of instructors, not to mention the tens of thousands of divers that were being certified. And so with that kind of growth and the revenue that was coming in, I knew the company was going to be successful. How big it would get, I wasn't sure.
A lot of people have always asked me, why did you go from TDI to SDI, and what were the challenges that you had associated with that? Well, the challenges weren't that great actually, because we all had a vast experience in technical diving, and we just used that experience of developing that curriculum that way and made it easier. We've gone from SDI, what's that? SDI? Oh, I'm not doing anything with those guys. SDI, oh, that's that radical organization that does e-learning. To now, one of the most accepted training agencies in the world.
ERDI was started in the sort of the middle of 2000. It was originally launched just in the US, and now we're in 5 different countries, so it's been adapted internationally to be able to work for their standards and their divers and their techniques. So its global acceptance is doing really well right now.
I think the family atmosphere that we've created has really rung true to the success that we have felt over the years. Treating the people that we work with on a day-to-day basis with respect and understanding where they're coming from and the value that they bring to us, I think has always been something that we've prided ourselves on.
Our family dynamic as part of the organization really impacts the way people come to work. There isn't a time clock where you go from 8 to 4 in the afternoon, or 9 to 5, or 9 to 6, whatever your hours may be working in the company. People come to the company early and they leave late because they love what they're doing. We have a whole group of divers, and most of those are instructors. So this is all the way from my position all the way down to our bookkeeper, who, you wouldn't think had to learn how to dive, but no, it's part of our culture, it's what we do.
I think that in a lot of ways we shaped the way the industry is where it is right now. Online training was not available when we came into the game, and it is now. We started it, we launched it, we had it out there for 3 to 4 years before anybody else even embraced it, and now virtually every agency has an online training component. We came out with the solo diving program, and now we have 2 other agencies that took, again, a long time to even put anything out there, and we had it. From the early onset of SDI, Brett was very, very clear that tables were becoming a thing of the past. They had been in use for so many years, and dive computers is what everybody was using. So our primary training for dive tracking was dive computers. ERDI, when it came into the game, we started producing materials that nobody else had, and standards that nobody else had, for courses that nobody had.
We're doing something right. Whether it be the way that our message is getting out, whether it be the type of message that's getting out, I'm not exactly sure. There's a recipe that's just molding together. All of the ingredients are working.
For so long, when I came up through the ranks, we had heard, oh, this is the way it's always done. You can't change this, you can't change that. And there wasn't any real reason why there were limits put in places. I want ITI's legacy to be an organization that impacted change through the diving industry.
Join our family. Be a part of the change. Is that right? All right. So we start that, we put that video out there to talk about our company and the culture that we've created in it. And I'd love to say that's the way it started, but it's not. We've gone through it, we've gone ups and downs, and we've learned some things are important, other things aren't important. So we put together international trainings, these 5 items. So international training in 2002 was an important time in the history of the company. At this time, the founder of it, or the 2 founders of it, were done. They were tired. They're ready to move on. They built this business on. They wanted to. They had a younger group of people there, and when I say younger, I'm using younger thinking, younger minded, not age. Okay, aggressive. They were new to the company, myself being one of them. But the company was stuck. It experienced large growth early on, became stagnant, and needed energy and needed a new direction. As a result of that, on February 4, 2004, 2 years of work and planning came to fruition, and that's when the company changed hands. And there was this very specific thing that happened on that day from a philosophy standpoint of the company. The company at that time, as you heard in the video, they grew despite everybody cutting them down and telling them they're doing something wrong. And their business model was to fight back. Okay, and grow, improve people. So it was a combative way of building their business. And they were successful at it, and they were good at it, and they were pioneers with it. But in 2004, we decided to go a totally different direction, still keep the same values and the concepts in place. And this is a moment that I've worked at international training that I was like really proud that it happened. The company changed hands on a Wednesday morning. The staff found out the company was changing hands Tuesday night. Okay? There was very few people that knew at all. There was about 5 people that knew. So we told them Tuesday night, Wednesday it's changing hands, go to work and do your business. And when we came home on Wednesday, we told everybody we're going to have a meeting on Thursday morning. We shut down the business. We said, because of the business transfer and what happened with it, it was an asset purchase. So the old corporation got shut down and the new corporation got started. Everybody technically had to be rehired. Okay? So everybody, for a little window, they didn't know if they had a job. We went and told them, hey, everything's going to be fine. We're going to give a presentation on the change in the company, and we want to see if you want to buy into the philosophy. And the philosophy was, rather than being combative, we're going to be inclusive. Rather than compete on certain things and be very aggressive in a negative way, we're going to promote on a positive way. And that shift, as I presented to the staff at that time, I said, look, everybody has the opportunity. This is the direction. If you want to come on board, please come into the office on Monday morning. You've got a couple of days paid off. We'll get your new employee paperwork all set, and you'll be good to go. Everybody's got a job. But I want you to take 3 days to think about it, if you want, because we'd spent so much time with this one business mindset, whether it would happen. So they said to us, well, what are you going to do on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? And a couple of us, myself and Fleming, who's in the back, which was the chairman of the board, the person I did this with, one of the 5 people that knew, he and I said, well, and Stephanie at the time, we have to come in and we have to rebuild the company from the ground up, the accounting systems, and make sure we transfer over a whole bunch of stuff on Friday. So that's what we're going to be doing, so we really know business is going to happen. They said, okay. So when we pulled into the parking lot at 9 o'clock on Friday morning, the entire staff was standing in the parking lot. We're ready to help put us to work. It was at that moment I knew that the philosophy and the time for that change was right. And all the employees bought in. And part of that, why that happened, was because of what we did. What I did in November. At DEMA in 2003, and I'm sorry, I got to do a little bit of history on this. At DEMA in 2003, I got the phone call on the show floor just in Miami, just by happenstance, that 2 years of chasing funding, we got it. They were giving us the money. It was like, are you kidding me? I'm on the floor, my phone rings, and here's your money. It's happening. Didn't come from within the industry. It came from outside of the industry. They didn't even know we were in a trade show when they called it. So I was like, okay, great, October, it's great, we got this, we're going to go back, I'm going to get everything set. Don't know the exact dates, but it's going to happen. Great. So I went home after DEMA. 2 weeks after DEMA, I'm lying in bed one night, I sleep. 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, sit up on my bed, and I go, oh my God, this is going to happen. What do we do next? How do we do this? So you've heard before in business plans and stuff like that, or how to grow a business, have a plan. Well, yeah, have a plan. What does that mean? Set a mission statement, do core values. There's all sorts of information out there on the internet and through business courses and stuff like that on how to build a missions plan and how to come up with your core values, okay? I'm not going to talk about that. But you should do those things, and you should look up those things. And you need those 2 components before you can move on to the next step. And the next step was the step that how our entire company runs right now. And that was the critical goals and the process we go through for critical goals. The critical goals is we pick every year between 5 to 7 critical things that everybody in the company and every decision we make are going to follow. The process in which we do that is for our plan, our budgeting, and everything like that, is throughout the year, here, DEMA Show, we get ideas. We document all those ideas. All those ideas are sent into a box, okay? And that box is waited until November 1st, where at that time, and anybody can put those ideas in there, all the staff are told by November 1st their write-ups have to be in the box. All their regional offices, all of our advisors, any instructors who give us random ideas, have something and they got an idea, could you just get us a little write-up? It goes into that box on November 1st, by November 1st. And on November 1st, I take all those ideas and I read every idea that was handed to us throughout the year. And I look for themes throughout. And I find out, you know what? We had 5 retailers say that we need to make a freediving book or build a freediving program, to give you an example, as one. Okay, that has weight. We had one that says we need to make koozies. Okay, I'm going to put that over here. Okay? I take those ideas and I try to compartmentalize and find them. And from that, we come up with our critical goals of 5 items. We need to do a better job of marketing. We need to have better financial resources. We need to give back and build an environmental program. There's countless ideas we get hit with. But those 5 to 7 critical goals set the plan for the entire rest of the year, for everything we do. And we share those critical goals with our members at any given time on what we're focused on for this year. The reason these critical goals are so important is on the DEMA show floor, I just got 30 ideas, and I think just to this morning. Which one do I work on? They're all great ideas. Okay, I'm going to start on the road, and I'm going to work on this idea that I got this morning from one of our retailers. And then 2 hours later, my phone rings, and I get another idea. Okay, I'm going to walk over here, but I forgot about this idea over here. Okay, so I'm getting juggled here. It becomes really important when you have a staff, because everybody is running in a different direction. Okay, so you always come back and you always say, does it meet the critical goals? And each staff member at headquarters is handed a printed copy of the critical goals on the first week of December. And we give it to them electronically, of course, first, but they're handed a printed copy. And we do random quarterly meetings each year, or throughout the year, and they have to bring that piece of paper to the meeting. That piece of paper lives on my desk in a spot where I can reach to it and just pull it out and look at it at any given time. All staff members have to have those critical goals at their access. They don't have to memorize them, but right there. Because when they get hit with ideas, does this fit in? Does it not? Is it a great idea? Can we change throughout the year? Yes, but it's very rare that we do it, because we don't want to react all the time. Much of the diving industry is built off of react to this, react to that, react to this, react to that. And that's one of the things that I see as an issue of why we're not growing. Because we don't have a direction. We're not being proactive. We're being reactive to the person next door. If you set a critical goals when somebody else is doing something else, and I'll give you an example. Let's see, what are the things they're seeing? Patty's putting out some videos that are pretty awesome now. They're in ambassador program. That's a great idea. Would I love to go do that and do another Me Too? Yeah, I think it's good. We could go ahead and do something like that, very similar. But you know what? I met with 5 people. We got 1,000 ideas. This is what we all kind of agreed on. Stick to our plan and we'll be successful. We won't react to what everybody else is doing. Okay? We'll acknowledge that they've done something great, but we'll do it what we think is based on all of the ideas that we've got. Those critical goals are one of the key components to it. So I put that together each year. Have a plan, set of critical goals. Number 2, value your employer relationships. 1, we like working with people we like. Okay? So, and replacing somebody is expensive. Those 2 reasons. It's why we value it. So we'll do all sorts of things with our employee relationships that we do. I feel it's my duty to earn their respect every day at work. It's my job. We're all coworkers. We're not employees. Yes, I have the title of president, but what that really means is I'm the guy at the bottom of the toilet bowl. Okay? All the bad stuff ends up on my desk. So, do I like to have people that are going to help me with all of that? Yes. So I have to show them respect. We're a group of coworkers. We're a team. It doesn't matter whether it's Rick, the video guy, DJ, our marketing person. We all work together. We're all part of that team together. If something bad happens to them or they have an issue, I'm willing to jump in and help them out. If something happens with me, they come in and help us out. That's why we have a real team environment. So coworkers rather than employees. And if you're dealing with different generations, especially if you're dealing with people in the younger generation, this is an important concept because of the respect they want to be seen to have. We use education advancement. One of the things that staff, and if you saw my presentation the other day about managing millennials, okay? One of the things that they said is they want the ability to grow and learn. That's one of the, no matter what the age group is, they want to go to a job. 73% of the people, of 1,000 people, said the most important factor to them was the ability to grow and learn. So we're divers, we're instructors, we're educators. They want to learn diving. That's great. But they might also want to learn equipment repair. Okay? They might want to also learn sales things. Okay? Rick is foraying a lot into photography and video. That's outside of us. He's doing some stuff. He's doing a lot of video and photography, but there's other things which we go ahead and help him out with. Okay? So we provide educational opportunities for our team people for advancement. We have direct access open door policy. If you walk into the current building at International Training, my office is the first office you come across, and we don't have a receptionist. They come right in, and I'm the one who says, "Yep, Peaks is here." Okay? Somebody, Jimmy John's, oh my gosh, Jimmy John's, the staff is hooked on it, especially our product development department. Man, they eat a lot of Jimmy John's. But I'm the first one to see it. In addition to that, anybody can talk to, yes, we have department heads, and yes, we have managers and stuff, but there is no problem with anybody coming to talk to me or anybody talking to any one of the managers. You don't have to go through a manager. We don't have that corporate structure. It's the same way with our members and how we talk with our members. It's the same way with our regional offices. Everybody throughout, anybody can talk to anybody. We're not worried about our jobs. Our jobs will be secure if we do a good job, if we work together and we succeed as a team. Okay? Flexible work practices. People say to me, what the heck is that, flexible work practices? I went away on a trip, and I came back from a trip, and I walked back into product development. Product development is a bunch of creative people, Rick being one of them. He's one of the people in the back there who comes up with these ideas, and they're the genesis for the crazy things. And I come back from a trip, and I'm walking back, and I walk back by product development, I walk by the door, and I'm looking, but something catches the corner of my eye. I walk back and go, what the? I turn around. There they are. They've got a dartboard up in their office now that they play darts, and they set it up. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all right, whatever. They've got darts up. I'm going to walk away. Well, I leave that. I come back later, and I look in the office. Not only have they taken a dartboard, they've got a dry erase board, and there are running games of darts going at all times throughout. Their turns go for weeks, these rotating things. What they use it for is their brainstorming, okay? On top of that, it encourages our membership services and training that's on the phone all the time with the customers to come downstairs and interact with them. So, my name's on the dartboard. I'm in there playing darts. We have a foosball table, right, in membership services. They've got a basketball hoop in membership services where they can play and just have a good time. Why? I'll be honest with you. Sitting in front of a computer, being on the phone, is boring and mundane. It's tough, okay? And helping and resolving issues throughout the day can be relatively difficult. So that flexible work practices, we do a lot to encourage that to a point. There are certain limitations, okay? So we like to have fun. We regularly, if you come in and if you visit headquarters unannounced, and you just kind of show up at one day, you walk up to membership services and look at the pictures on the walls. Like when we know we have an event, pictures have to come down. Okay? Because we see some strange things that come in on the internet and they regularly put it up and pick on each other. We joke that when we hire somebody at international training, we issue them a computer, a phone, and a flak jacket. Because you got to have a thick skin. We're going to have a lot of fun with one another. At all of our offices, this is another product development thing, when you walk into our offices, our nameplates that identify us are pictures or caricatures or something that when I see mine, I'm like, oh man, that means they did a good job. They're designed to pick on each other and keep us all humble. Mine happens to be a big shrimp that says, democracy is not meant to be fun. I made the comment off cuff one day and joke on passing, and they're killing me with it. Okay, I share an office with Fleming, and he's Danish, so they put a picture of a big Great Dane up, and it's the big Great Dane in front of him, just to annoy it. The membership, you guys, what are you in membership product development now? You guys changed yours. Product development just changed yours. We changed our marketing changed theirs. Oh, marketing. Yeah, Spartans from Saturday Night Live, you know, the hula of whatever. So the intention is to keep everybody humble. We do regular company outings. We'll be down in the Keys in 2 weeks or something like that, where we just go out and go diving and actually have some fun to one another. We won't be, the office will be closing early on that Friday, December 3rd. The staff doesn't know that yet, but you just found that out. And then we have bonus programs. We've done some bonus programs. This is something that worked out financially in the past, was you have staff that you work with and an error occurs, and then you end up having to cover it financially. You have to figure out a way to fix the problem, and it costs you money. It causes you aggravation, and it causes you to have to react to different problems. Well, what we did is we budget at the beginning of the year. We take we've done this in the past. We take a block of money and we put it aside and say, at the end of the year, you'll equally split this money if everybody's successful in what we're trying to accomplish. And you see our newsletters, our newsletter cycle comes out, it comes out regularly. Well, I could walk in and say, hey, you got to have an article done and get your article done and get it out and get the newsletter done and try to encourage everybody to always do that. That became mundane. We weren't hitting our deadlines and stuff like that, where we have a deadline process. Well, years ago when I implemented this constant content, putting out the marketing, the constant content that we were doing, we struggled with that. So I pulled aside and I put $10,000, I think, of the side, or a value of that, and I had like 8 people involved in this pool. And I said at the end of the year, you'll equally divide this $10,000 if every newsletter goes out on time, and if you get all your reports in and your stuff that we have to do by certain deadlines and everybody done. But here's the deal. The $10,000, it isn't individually done, it's collectively. If you miss a deadline, I take $50 out by a day. For every day you miss a deadline or article, it's $50 out, $50 out, $50 out. So what occurred is, for instance, like Sean and Chris. Sean, head of sales, head of training. Chris, head of sales. Chris had a series of reports they had to get done. Sean had a series of articles. If Sean doesn't get his articles done, he's pulling money out of Chris's pocket. So you know what happened? Chris turned around, Sean, get your stuff done, man. And they gelled. I didn't have to do anything to encourage them to get their deadlines. So incentivizing them as a group works better than doing it as an individual. So if you have a couple instructors working for you, take those groups of instructors and find some way to incentivize them in that manner. Because when's the last time you had to have 2 instructors and try to get them on the same page to teach the class? They all got their own opinions. Financially work with them to get that process. Number 3, content marketing. Sean talked a little bit about it in his program. Darren's talked about it in all of his seminars. What is content marketing? Content marketing is somebody asks you a question. There's 3 other people that are asking you that same question. Answer that question to them, then write it down and put the answer on your website. 70% of all purchasing decisions are made before you even talk to anybody. Anybody bought a new car recently? Anybody researched a car or whatever? If you're going to buy a new car, do you walk into the dealership now and say, hey, car salesman, tell me about this car? No, you don't. You hate that. What you do is you go online and you look at the cars and you find out the prices and you figure out what the features are, and you go to CarMax and you find out what the best warranty is going to be. You get the color, you get everything, and you pick out all those different things that you need. You know more about that car than before you even show up at the dealership. Okay, you know exactly what you're buying. You know what the price range is going to be. There are great websites now that you can figure out if they paid for what they paid for a car in Delaware and compared to what they paid for a car in Florida and compared to what they in Las Vegas. So you know the high end, the low end, and the mid out of all these people because it's all being reported. Got all that information. So when you walk into the car salesman, what do you need to do? What does the car salesman need to do? Just make the process easy. Sale is done. Give me the piece of paper. I don't want to be sold anymore. You can tell me a couple little things on the side, but make the process easy. If you don't have information about the programs you are teaching and what makes you unique online and available to search on these fancy little devices we all walk around with, you're missing the boat. You got to do it. And how do you start? It's real simple. First time somebody walks up to you and asks a question, make a little note. That's your first bit of content marketing. Write the answer up. Put it somewhere on your website. Somebody asks, they'll answer. Educate the consumer before they come and talk to you. This has been a huge part of the growth of international training over the last 4 years. Our brand and all of our marketing dollars have gone into this. You don't see magazine ads from us because, as far as I'm concerned, we don't get anywhere near the return that we would on a couple of stories. Customer ideas are the source. They ask, you answer. Somebody goes ahead and asks us a question. Brian, how many advanced nitrox divers were certified last year? Hold on a second, let me get you that answer. Here's the actual number. What? Why would you give away that information? It's been so protected for all these years. You ask me a question, I'll answer. Why would you do that? Well, because if I give real information, you're more apt to trust me. And what's the determining factor of buying from people these days? You want to trust the person you're purchasing from. So give them the information. We'll have retailers contact us and say, hey, I'm interested in becoming a TDI or an ERDI instructor or an SDI instructor. Okay, what are you going to do? Well, I got a police department down the road that I want to teach and train with, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of new business and things like that. Oh, what kind of public safety experience do you have? None. We don't think this is a good fit. You shouldn't do this. But I want to. I'm going to. I've been diving forever. Not with our organization. There's other organizations that can facilitate with you. We don't think it's a good idea. Just turn the business away. We've done that for years with TDI, and that's given us a good reputation. You have to earn your certification with TDI, and we're going to hold you to that. So therefore, that's grown, and our brand has become the benchmark that everybody's followed, okay? Hug your haters. This is another great one. When anybody calls and complains to us about something, or we get content, basically writes a negative review or something bad, we embrace that. We answer them directly, and when we're sorry, we make a mistake. We say we're sorry, we made a mistake, and we use that as a source of, as a way of building a relationship. Sometimes it doesn't work, but when it works, which is the majority of the time, it's gold. When was the last time you called with a customer complaint to Comcast or the cable company, and they went, oh yeah, we'll help you out, we'll give it $100 credit. Thank you, the guy didn't show up on time to plug everything in. If they would do that, the trust could be built again, and they wouldn't have such a horrible reputation. If you don't answer a negative criticism, it's worse than answering it and saying, I'm sorry, we screwed up and we can't help you out. Think about that. There's a book, Hug Your Haters, that talks about all of this. And it's a fantastic, I'm trying to remember, I got the guy's face in front of me. I saw him do a presentation last year. It's fantastic. That talks about the pros and cons of it and how you can use it to grow your business. So the content marketing is a big one. Empower your team. We spend a lot of time building trust with our staff, finding the right staff, working with them. But that's ultimately so that we can let them, so that they understand the customer comes first at all times. The staff, our international training staff, is empowered to replace materials if we misship it without charging. They're in place, they need to make a decision, okay? They can't give away professional level ratings. It has to go through a certain chain, but they're empowered. They can't give a certification card over the phone, okay? Those types of things. But if an error occurs, we misprint a card or do something like that, we misship a product, we can't get a rating done. The instructor's having a trouble doing the registration. Well, they're right online. We can watch what they're doing as it's occurring. They can make the decision financially to just take care of it and help them out and go that extra step. It's one of the reasons why our customer service gets pretty high ranks from people and responses to it. That benefit, the cost of saying the knee-jerk reaction of, no, we misshipped it. We need to get all that product back, and then we need to ship it, and we need to charge them because I know they told me they wanted advanced nitrox books and not nitrox. The cost of going through that and the turmoil costs more than giving away 5 books. And the customer, when they say, wait a second, I have to keep the 5 advanced nitrox books you sent me? Yeah, put them on the shelf, put a price tag on it, sell it, make a little bit more money. Appreciate your help, thank you for your business. What? And we're overnighting those other ones to you and get it to you right away. Huh? Go downstairs and ask the regulator manufacturer to do that. Okay? Consider how much money we're talking about before making a decision, by empowering it. I'm not saying give staff the ability to give away $100 regulators, but quantify how much a mistake is. Is this a $10 mistake? I don't care. Sean Harrison, and I don't think I'm going to get this right, is he used to work on the aggressor fleet, and his boss at the time was a gentleman by the name of Dan Ruth, and Sean was in charge of he was the captain of the Fiji aggressor, he was the captain of the Kona aggressor for quite some time. And his boss, Dan Ruth, said to him, Sean would bring him, this happened, and what do I do, and what do I do? And the boss turned to him one day and said, Sean, I don't need to know about toilets, toothpaste, and toothbrushes. Don't bother me with the BS stuff. Just make a decision and fix it. I don't want to hear about problems. Fix it, because it's costing us time and money. Do what's in the best interest of the customer and what you think and you feel is right. Do we have mistakes? Do we get little things here and there where we've gone a little bit too far and maybe we lost a little bit of money? Yeah, but by empowering my team, I show them that we trust them. And that is big. Listen to your customers. Number 5, the questions they ask, that's your content. You don't have to do any research. Just ask them. When they ask a question, write it down. We listen to our customers with solo diving. Love to say we were the ones who did that. We listened to our customers. E-learning was their idea. Instant chat, which we launched last year, was great. The central database with one login, electric e-cards, no charge on that. All their ideas. Print cards directly to stores, all the retailers' ideas. Take the ideas, jump on them, and run. And if you do that, the word starts to spread that you're a company that listens and people want to be involved. Customer service is an attitude, not a department. I love that slide. And one extra one. I said I was going to give you 5, but I'm going to give you 6. Have fun. All right? The bottom line is, if you're not having fun doing what you're doing, why are you doing it? Take a break. Our staff, if we know there's stuff going on and they're having a bad time, you know what? Get out of here. Go home. Take care of the things you need to do. If you're not, it's counterproductive. Pounding somebody to continue to work isn't going to work. If somebody doesn't want to be there, they're not going to be there. If you've got a bad employee that's taking advantage, get rid of them. Find somebody else that wants to. By having fun, joking, laughing, you'll see us relatively pick on each other a lot, go by the booth, especially towards the end of the day at the show. It gets pretty punchy downstairs. You'll see that attitude and how we approach things regularly. So have fun. Are there any questions? No questions. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your time today, And thank you for the 6 people right at the end, attending my presentation and entertaining me, being here, okay? Enjoy the rest of the show. I know there's a couple other great seminars coming up at the end of the day. I can't remember what they are. So there's a sign right over there for that, so I appreciate that, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.